Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is King Trap at it again. Today we're bringing you a video on a game that was played on Lichess at a rating of 1505, bringing you an informative gameplay to help you better your games. If you're new here, subscribe and turn on notifications because I create informative chess content to better your play and increase your chess understanding. So with that, let's get started. So this was an interesting game that I played on a Saturday night. Starts with e4, e5, and then this tricky d4 move. And, you know, it's a decent move, you know, directly contesting the center. I played e5 expecting to play the Petrov defense because I know a lot of tricky lines in there, including the Stafford Gambit. But we're going for this, you know, mid-game thing. d6, d5, knight f6, knight c3. So basic stuff here, attacking his backwards pawn, white defending, bishop g4, threatening his queen, white blocks, bishop h5, just keeping this pressure on, you know, enticing white to maybe weaken his king side. I've already pulled out his f2 pawn, so accomplishing everything I want to at this point. We have bishop to g5, threatening my knight. The light squared bishop has been developed, so I'm free to bring out my other knight to d7. We have bishop captures on f6, knight captures on f6, and then knight to h3. Kind of an odd move by white. You know, I think moving the bishop out and then maybe bringing the knight to the center of the board would have been a better move. We're looking to develop the queen and castle. Game continue though. Bishop to e7, just consolidating, looking to castle, developing my minor pieces. Bishop to b5. Good move, putting me in check. So I don't want to push quite yet because I'm not ready for the pawn storm. I don't have any defenders on it besides this b pawn, and I kind of want to have a minor piece or my queen maybe eyeing that c6 square before I actually look to break this open. Plus my king's still in the middle of the board, so I elect to block with the knight. And he, what I thought he should have done a couple moves earlier, finally moves the queen and is maybe thinking to castle queenside. I castle, removing the pin, and he castles queenside, creating a weakness. He puts the queen and the king on the same diagonal, and I have this dark squared bishop eyeing the queen. So I recognize this right away, but it's covered by the knight. So I moved the queen over, thinking, so I saw this opportunity, but I saw that the knight was covering this square, so I wasn't able to take advantage, and I don't have a defender for this square after moving the queen, so I shift my attention over to this pawn break in the c-file. And then he makes an odd move. He puts his knight right on that weak square, so I kick it with this pawn, and after he moves it back, this is perfect for black because now bishop to g5 comes with a defender, so you're threatening to win the queen. But sadly, this knight prevents all of that. So, like I said, I saw all this, and I saw that the knight prevents all this, so I planned to go after my c6 break. So after he moves back, I make my break, captures, forcing the knight or the bishop to move back to a4. And then I play this this move with the knight here, knight to c5. For this reason, I want to try and remaneuver my knight to trade off this strong piece over here because this piece is really holding down the defense for white. So I'm thinking, when I made this move, I'm thinking put pressure on the bishop, remaneuver to this square, try and get some trades maybe, and then get that pin in, if you see that. So some pretty complex strategy here to remaneuver the black knight. And this is really what the mid-game is all about, is creating opportunities and looking for tactical advantages. Here I'm trying to take advantage of a pin, but it's not quite set up. So I'm trying to remaneuver my pieces around so that I can still capitalize. And at this point, white thinks for a couple seconds and then plays knight to f2, completely blundering the game. I instantly played bishop g5, and he sat and thought for a good 2 minutes about this. And this is something that I see a lot in this ELO, the 1500s, is they just kind of blitz out moves and they don't really think about anything until they're in a situation like this, where no matter what you try, you know, you're just losing. You know, there's nothing you can do here. You can't block here. I mean, the queen's just falling. And so after sitting here and thinking, he blitzes out a couple moves. Queen captures, pawn captures, and clearly this is winning. No shame in resigning at this point. You just got outplayed. But, you know, it was a 5+0, and I don't know if he thought he was going to flag me or what, but he decided to play on with rook captures pawn on d6. So I said, okay, well, I'm up in a ton of material, and the best way to close out games is to trade off as much material as you can and get into an endgame. So we have knight captures on a4, knight captures knight, rook to d8. He defends his rook. I'm like, okay, let's capture. The more material I get off the board, the better I am, because I have a queen and you don't. Rook to b8, just owning this b file, making it more difficult for white to do anything on the queen side. Excuse me. Knight to e4, defending his pawn. We have bishop to g6, threatening the knight. Knight e to c5. Not a very good move. If you can find the winning idea here, black has a move that puts a lot of pressure on white. It's queen to f5, just threatens checkmate. So whatever you do to defend this, maybe moves like this. You have this move where the queen's coming over at this piece, well, threatening this piece, and then after it moves, you're winning the pawn there, putting him in check. So a lot of good opportunities here, and I think at this point white was just consigned to give mate. So easy checkmate and a beautiful game. A nice victory here with the black pieces, but a really good demonstration of how to dominate in the mid game, looking for tactical advantages and looking ahead. So I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and I hope to see you soon in the next video.